Are you tired of waiting for inspiration to strike? What if I told you that the secret to reaching your goals isn't waiting, it's taking action, even if you don't want to? Imagine waking up every day with a clear goal and irrepressible drive. The true secret to success is not to wait for the ideal moment or motivation, it is to force oneself to act, no matter how little or difficult the step may appear. In today's video, we'll look at the science of action, including how to overcome opposition and why a small difference in thinking may be game-changing. If you've ever procrastinated or felt trapped, this is a wake-up call. Your decisions now, no matter how tiny, will influence your future. There is a saying that you don't have to be great to start, but you must start to become great. We all have goals, desires, and aspirations, but taking the initial step can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you already have everything you need to overcome opposition and gain control? In this video, I'll show you 10 effective tactics for forcing yourself into action and achieving your goals. You'll learn practical, no-nonsense tactics for overcoming excuses, staying focused, and making genuine progress. If you're ready to take control and make your ambitions a reality, hang around. This might be the start of your transformation. Let's look at the first strategy. Number 1, no one will come to save you. No one will develop your dreams for you. No one will pick you up every time you fall. The obligation has always been yours. That fact may feel overpowering at first, but consider how empowering it is. Your future is shaped by your actions, not by luck or other people's choices. The longer you wait for the ideal time, the tougher it is to get started. What's the reality? Waiting is a trap. The more time you spend hoping that someone will notice your talent or provide you an opportunity, the more likely you are to remain trapped. Let's be clear. Potential without action is meaningless. What is actually important is what you do with it. So ask yourself, what have you been putting off while waiting for the right circumstances? Starting that business, taking control of your health, learning a skill that could transform your life. Because here's the truth, the longer you wait, the heavier the load of regret. And the regret, it will be far heavier than the discomfort of starting today. Why action beats motivation. The ache of starting today is genuine. You might think, but it's difficult. Sure, it's difficult. Anything worth accomplishing is difficult. Success was never intended to be simple, and that is precisely what makes it meaningful. The work you put in, even when you don't feel like it, develops an unbreakable inner strength. It demonstrates that you are capable of much more than you previously anticipated. And the belief, that is priceless. Now, let us talk about excuses. They are soothing, aren't they? It's simple to say that I don't have time, I do not have the resources, I am not ready. But let's be honest, excuses do not pay the bills. They don't create legacies. They don't finish the task. What gets the task done? Discipline, dedication, and action. And the best part? These are things under your control. They are not natural gifts, rather, they are skills that may be developed. Stop making excuses and start focusing on your goals. This road will not be easy. There will be days when you are fatigued, frustrated, and want to quit. But those are the days that count the most. Those moments distinguish the achievers from everyone else. When things are simple, everybody can participate. But turning up when it's difficult, that's what makes you unique. And here's the truth. If you're looking for motivation, I can save you some time. Motivation is unstable. It comes and goes. What you need is discipline. Discipline is what pulls you out of bed when the alarm goes off. It helps you stay concentrated when distractions arise. It fills the space between mediocrity and success. So take complete control of your life. Decide right now that you're done waiting, creating excuses, and ready to act. Because nobody else will do it for you. No one will be as concerned about your success as you are. That's not a problem. It's a blessing. Why? Because it indicates that you are in control. You pick how far you travel, how hard you work, and what you accomplish. Start small if necessary. You don't have to conquer the globe in one day, but you need to get started. Take the initial step, even if it is uncomfortable. Push past the resistance. Develop the habit of turning up for yourself every day. Over time, you'll witness progress, results, and most significantly, yourself evolving into the person who takes action and accomplishes tasks. Your life is your duty, nobody else's. It is up to you to seize control, take action, and make things happen. So quit waiting, stop hoping, stop counting on others to do it for you. Force yourself to act. Your future depends on it. Believe me, the results will be worth every bit of work. Success is more than just working hard when you feel like it. It's about turning up every day. What's the secret to doing that? A solid routine. A routine is more than just a timetable or a plan. It is a framework. It's the structure that keeps you grounded even when things get crazy. The beauty of routines is that they eliminate uncertainty. When you know exactly what to do and when to do it, hesitation is eliminated. You no longer waste time discussing whether to act because the decision has already been taken. Consider the most successful persons you admire. Do you suppose they wake up and wing it? Absolutely not. They adhere to rigid schedules because routines form habits which produce outcomes. So, begin by recognizing what is genuinely important. What daily acts can help you get closer to your goals? Exercising, refining your craft, studying, networking, developing a skill? Write it down. Be clear about your priorities because clarity is the foundation of a successful habit. Here's an essential tip. Make your regimen realistic. It's simple to create a timetable that looks great on paper but is tough to follow. Do not fall into that trap. Don't build an impressive routine that will burn you out in a week. Instead, create a sustainable structure. Concentrate on consistency over intensity. It's preferable to keep to a manageable schedule over time than to go all in for a few days and then crash. Stick to your schedule no matter what happens. This is where most people fail. They start strong, but as the adrenaline wears off, they fall back into their old habits. Do not be that person. Treat your routine as a contract with yourself. A contract that cannot be terminated. There will be days when you feel fatigued, preoccupied, or unmotivated. These are the days that mean the most. When a regimen is simple enough, anyone can follow it. The real challenge and growth comes when you stick to your goals in the face of setbacks. How to make it work. Avoid distractions. If you're trying to concentrate, get rid of anything that distracts you. Prepare yourself for success. If you want to eat healthy, don't keep junk food around the house. If you want to read more, keep books within reach, monitor your progress. Seeing how far you've come creates momentum. Use a journal, an app, or whatever manner works for you. When you look back and realize how regularly you've turned up, it motivates you to keep going. Now, here's a crucial point. Don't be too hard on yourself if you skip one day. Life happens. What actually important is tenacity, not perfection. If you make a mistake, don't use it to justify quitting. Get back on track immediately. One bad day does not define you. How you respond does. Your routine is the link between where you are and where you want to be. It's daily proof that you're serious about living the life you want. So make the commitment, develop your regimen, most importantly, stick to it, no matter what. Because in the end, your results will reflect the habits you follow. Understanding procrastination. Create a regimen that works for you. Start small if necessary, but prioritize consistency over intensity. It's best to keep to a manageable routine than to burn out from attempting to do too much at once. Once you've established your regimen, the next step is essential. Stick to it. Many people make this mistake. They start strong, but when the excitement wears off, they fall back into old habits. Do not be that person. Treat your routine as a contract with yourself, one that you cannot violate. Your routine represents your commitment to your goals, and breaking it entails breaking that commitment. There will be days when sticking to your program seems practically impossible because you are tired, distracted, or unmotivated, but those are the days that count the most. Those are the days when sticking to your program demonstrates that you are serious about accomplishing your objectives. Anyone can stick to a routine when it's easy. The true challenge and growth occur when you stay to it throughout difficult times. Eliminate distractions to make it work. Set yourself up for success by creating an environment conducive to your routine. Remove any distractions that are interfering with your ability to focus. If you're trying to improve your health, instead of sabotaging your success, stock your kitchen with nutritious items. Your surroundings has a significant impact on whether you stay to your routine, make it work for you, not against you. Monitor your progress. One of the most motivating components of a program is seeing how far you've progressed. Journal. an app, or another technique to assess your consistency. When you look back and realize how regularly you've turned up, it boosts your momentum. It's a powerful reminder that you can stay devoted. But here's an important reminder. Don't be too hard on yourself if you skip a day. Life happens. What actually important is tenacity, not perfection. If you make a mistake, don't use that as an excuse to abandon everything. Get back on track as quickly as possible. A lost day does not define you. Rather, how you respond does. Your routine is the link between where you are now and where you want to be. It's daily proof that you're serious about living the life you want. So make the commitment, create a habit, and stick to it no matter what. In the end, the results you get will mirror the routines you follow. Waiting is one of the most common ways to lose time, and lost time is irreversible. Every moment spent waiting for the perfect opportunity, optimal conditions, or sufficient confidence is a squandered moment. Here is the truth. Nothing happens while you wait. Waiting does not solve problems, develop abilities, or generate results. Only action does. When you sit back and wait, you're effectively convincing yourself that tomorrow will be better or easier. But tomorrow is not certain. Waiting does not put you any closer to your goals. Rather, it pushes them further away. Worse, it creates a procrastination habit, which is difficult to overcome once established. Take a moment to consider how much time you have already spent waiting. How many goals have been postponed? Because you convinced yourself you weren't prepared. Reflect on those missed opportunities. It hurts, doesn't it? The ache is a wake-up call. While you can't turn back the clock, you can make a decision right now. Will you stay waiting or start moving? Let's be honest. Waiting can feel safe. It creates the illusion of avoiding failure or disappointment. However, in actuality, delaying just slows progress. The longer you wait, the tougher it is to get started. Fear builds, excuses abound, and before you realize it, years have passed, trapping you in the same routines. Waiting is not a form of safety. Rather, it represents stagnation. Consider what you want most in life. Is it financial independence, greater health, healthier relationships, or mastering your profession or craft? Whatever it is, waiting won't get you anywhere. The gap between where you are and where you aspire to be can only be bridged by action. Every day you wait is a missed opportunity to improve, progress, and get closer to your goals. Let's be honest. Folks wait because they're terrified, afraid of failing, appearing silly, or not being good enough. But here's the truth. Fear does not go away with time. The only way to overcome fear is to face it directly. Fear can be overcome by taking action. Fear fades when you begin to take steps ahead. Stop believing that you have to have everything sorted out before you start. You don't. Most successful people did not start off with all the answers. The process teaches you. Mistakes teach you. Waiting for perfection is only an excuse to avoid putting in effort, but it is through effort that growth occurs. Time is your most valuable resource. You can earn more money, get new experiences, and repair damaged relationships, but you cannot make more time. It is never coming back. So why waste time waiting? Why let another day go by without making progress toward the life you desire? Here's the truth. Starting now doesn't need you to be perfect or have everything planned out. It just means taking the first step, regardless of how tiny. One step leads to the next, and momentum quickly develops. However, none of this will be possible if you remain trapped in the waiting game. Breaking the fear of failure. More time, or I'll start when I'm more confident, but these are simply reassuring illusions that keep you in your comfort zone. The truth is that the perfect moment does not exist, and conditions will never be optimal. Regardless of the uncertainty, you must act and create your own momentum. Waiting robs you of your potential. It traps you in a cycle of someday, but that day is not on the calendar. All you really have is today, this moment, this chance. Do not waste it. If there is something you have been putting off, do it right now. If there is a goal you have been putting off, start working on it today. Even the tiniest action is preferable to none at all. When you acknowledge that waiting is a waste of time, you break free from the idea that you will be ready eventually. Readiness is not an emotion, it is a choice. Decide today that you are finished waiting. Decide to take action, even if it is imperfect or inconvenient. Your future self depends on you to act now. They rely on you to take the measures now that will lead to the life you desire tomorrow. Do not let them down. Don't let yourself look back years later and wonder what may have been if you'd begun sooner. Use your suffering as a motivating factor. Pain is a powerful force that affects everyone in some way, whether through loss, failure, rejection, or disappointment. But here's the truth. Pain has the power to either shatter or strengthen you, and how one determines the outcome. If you channel your suffering correctly, it may become the gasoline that propels you to achieve things you never thought possible. Consider the pain you've had in your life. It could be dissatisfaction from unrealized ambitions, sorrow over missed opportunities, or hurt caused by someone you trusted. Whatever it is, acknowledge it. Don't run from it. Do not bury it. Do not pretend it doesn't exist. Pain is real, and the first step in managing it is to face it head on. Most individuals avoid discomfort at any cost. They distract themselves or push it aside in the hope that it would pass. However, ignoring suffering does not make it go away. It lurks beneath the surface, gently influencing your decisions and holding you back. Rather than avoiding it, accept it. Allow it to remind you of the feelings you do not want to experience again. Allow it to motivate you to take action, progress, and soar above. Pain has a unique ability to strengthen your concentration. It helps you see what is genuinely important. It displays your blunders and the lessons they contain. It clarifies the people, habits, and events in your life that are no longer beneficial to you. Use that clarity to make better judgments, develop meaningful goals, and pursue them with all your might. Here's the truth. Pain may strengthen you, but only if you let it. Every time you go through it, you develop resilience. Every time you recover from a setback, you show to yourself that you are capable of more than you realized. Every time you face adversity, you grow. Growth does not come from comfort. It comes from struggle, effort, and the resolve to keep going even when it hurts. Consider some of the world's most successful people. They did not get there by living an easy life. They experienced the same anguish as you: failure, rejection, and misery. But rather than allowing their pain to define them, they used it to fuel their motivation. They let it inspire them to work more, grow, and become great. If they can accomplish it, you can too. One of the most profound blessings that sorrow can bestow is a feeling of purpose. When you have suffered, you know what it is like to be at your lowest. You understand the burden of powerlessness, the desire to give up, and the darkness of despair. Use that understanding to move you ahead, not hold you back. Turn your grief into fuel. Use it to aid yourself and others who are going through similar challenges. Pain has the unique capacity to link us to others, instilling empathy and strength. Do not allow your anguish be the end of your narrative. Instead, let it be the start of a new chapter, one characterized by resilience, commitment, and progress. Allow your sorrow to motivate you to work more, refuse to settle, and persevere when others would give up. Pain isn't a sign of weakness. It's confirmation that you're alive, human, and strong enough to overcome it. When you use your pain as a motivator, you regain control of your life. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start shaping your own destiny. Your grief does not define you. Your attitude to it does. Building self-discipline. You may not have chosen the pain you've experienced, but you can choose how you deal with it. Let your sorrow remind you of your power and reignite the fire within you, the part of you that refuses to give up. Use it as motivation to get up every morning, put in the effort, and keep going forward even when the road seems impassable. The agony you are experiencing today is just momentary, but the progress it can bring is forever. Imagine looking back one day at all of your problems and knowing you turned them into something worthwhile. Consider how you didn't let the anguish break you. Instead, it helped you grow. You used it as a stepping stone toward becoming the finest version of yourself. Eliminate all excuses. Excuses are chains that keep you in place. They may appear innocent, just minor reasons why you couldn't or shouldn't take action, but they are silent murderers of development and dreams. If you're serious about achievement, you must confront an uncomfortable truth. Excuses don't help you, they just hold you back. Every justification you make represents a decision to settle for less. It's a choice to stay in your comfort zone rather than step up and take control of your life. When you tell yourself, I don't have time, you're really saying, I don't want this badly enough. When you say, I'm not ready, you accept that fear is preventing you from attempting. Excuses may feel like a shield, but they are actually a jail. Consider the excuses you have used in the past. Be brutally honest with yourself. Were they real reasons, or were they just excuses to avoid discomfort and hard work? Most excuses are motivated by fear of failing, fear of being judged, and fear of not measuring up. But here's the truth. Fear has no power unless you allow it to. When you decide to act against your fear, its grip begins to loosen. Eliminating excuses begins with one fundamental principle: accountability. Own your decisions, actions, and outcomes. Stop blaming the situation, individuals, or poor fate. Take a close look at your position and say, this is on me. It may not feel nice to admit at first, but it is empowering. When you accept responsibility, you regain control. Excuses are frequently disguised as logic. I'll start tomorrow because today is already halfway over. I can't do it because I don't have the resources, or I'll wait until things calm down before I focus on this. These remarks may sound sensible, but they are simply strategies to postpone what needs to be done. The truth is that there can never be a perfect time. Waiting wastes time. The greatest moment to get started was yesterday. The second best time is now. Begin replacing excuses with solutions. Instead of responding, I don't have time, examine your calendar and determine where you can make time, perhaps by waking up earlier, reducing distractions, or becoming more efficient with your responsibilities. Rather of claiming, I don't know how, make a commitment to learn. The resources you require are available if you are ready to put forth the effort. If you really want something, you'll figure out how to get it. Eliminating excuses needs discipline. It is not simple, but it is completely vital. Discipline is what propels you out of bed when you're exhausted. It's what helps you stay focused when distractions arise. It's what keeps you going when quitting seems like the easy option. The more disciplined you are, the less space there is for excuses. Another technique to overcome excuses is to remind yourself of why you're doing this. Why is this significant to you? When your why is strong enough, excuses lose their effectiveness. If you want to improve your life, provide for your family, or accomplish something worthwhile, no excuse should be big enough to get in your way. Eliminating excuses also requires being honest with yourself about your priorities. If something is very important to you, you'll find a method to make it happen. If not, you will come up with an excuse. Ask yourself, how badly do I want this? If your answer is badly enough, no excuse should work. Excuses may feel comfortable, but progress is not meant to be pleasant. Progress necessitates hard work, sacrifice, and on occasion some discomfort. However, the benefits of perseverance far surpass the transient relief provided by accepting an excuse. When you stop making excuses, you open the door to possibilities. You realize what you're truly capable of. You realize that the only limitations are those you impose on yourself. And you discover that with enough effort, perseverance, and faith in yourself, you can conquer practically anything. Imagine looking back on your life and knowing you gave it your all, that you didn't let excuses hold you back, that you didn't settle for less than your full potential. That feeling, the joy, the sense of accomplishment is worth the suffering you'll experience along the journey. So stop making excuses. Stop allowing them to dominate your life. Replace them with action, accountability, and dedication to your goals. The only thing preventing you from achieving your goals is the excuse you're creating right now. Maintain a strong mindset as you push through the resistance. Resistance is an invisible wall creating momentum for success. Between where you are and where you want to be, there's a voice in your head whispering, stop, quit, Give up, since the path feels difficult. The truth is that everyone encounters resistance. Everyone faces resistance, but what distinguishes successful people is how they deal with it. Overcoming opposition necessitates a strong mindset tone that does not crumble under strain, but rather rises to meet it. Resistance can take various forms. It could be self-doubt telling you that you aren't talented enough. It might be procrastination telling you that there is always tomorrow. Alternatively, weariness may be telling you to take a rest. Resistance, no matter how it manifests, tests your resolve, and the only way to overcome it is to persevere. A strong attitude starts with a clear objective. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Your cause must be compelling enough to get you through the tough times. If your goal is weak, opposition will prevail. But if your mission is strong, it will give you the energy to keep going when everything else tells you to stop. Preparation is another essential component in having a strong attitude. When you're not prepared, resistance increases. To avoid getting overwhelmed, break down your assignment into small steps. If you want to achieve a goal, make a strategy to direct your actions. When you know what needs to be done and how to execute it, resistance loses strength. Your thoughts shape your world. If you believe you are unable to do something, you have already lost. But telling yourself that you can handle anything changes your perspective to one of potential. Positive self-talk is more than just motivation. It's a tool for retraining your thinking. When resistance arises, remind yourself of previous trials you've faced and how they've strengthened you. Focus is your most powerful weapon against resistance. The more you concentrate on your task at hand, the less place there is for distractions or uncertainty. Remove anything that will divert your attention away from your aim. This could include setting limits with people, shutting off your phone, or creating a designated workspace. The clearer your focus, the easier it is to push through. Building a solid mindset also necessitates patience. Resistance does not evaporate overnight. It takes time to build the mental fortitude required to conquer it. Be patient with yourself, but don't let that patience lead to complacency. Continue to go forward, even if the pace feels slow. Every step you take reduces resistance. Finally, embrace the discomfort. Resistance stems from the desire to avoid pain, difficulty, and uncertainty, but growth comes from confronting these problems head-on. The more you push through difficult conditions, the stronger and more resilient you will become. You grow more resilient. Discomfort is just momentary, but the benefits of overcoming it are long-lasting. Resistance is sometimes fiercest when you're on the verge of triumph. It's the ultimate test to see whether you're actually devoted. Most individuals quit up at this point, but you should dig in and push harder. Remind yourself that every amount of effort gets you closer to your objective. Surround yourself with people who embody strength and resilience. A strong attitude is not created in isolation. Seek for people who will challenge, encourage, and remind you of your potential. When resistance feels overpowering, having a support system can make a huge difference. Practicing appreciation might help to develop your thinking. Resistance frequently causes you to focus on what is difficult or missing, but changing your viewpoint to appreciate what you have and the progress you've made can help you stay motivated. Reminds you of your ultimate aim. Pushing past resistance is a deliberate choice. It isn't always simple or pleasurable, but it's vital to achieve your objectives. A strong mentality does not imply that you will never face resistance. Rather, it means that you will not allow it to stop you. It entails performing even when you don't feel like it and refusing to give up no matter how difficult things get. Remember, resistance is just fleeting. It may feel daunting in the time, but it is only a temporary impediment. The more you push through, the stronger you get, and the easier it is to confront new obstacles. Each time you conquer adversity, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you realized. Next, let's talk about ways to eliminate distraction from surroundings. Focus is vital for achieving anything meaningful, yet it's nearly impossible to stay concentrated when you're continuously distracted. Distractions steal your time, energy, and focus. They distract you from your goals, and before you know it, hours or even days have passed with no real progress. The key to overcoming resistance and remaining productive is to create an environment that encourages attentiveness. First, realize that distractions are everywhere. They can take the form of noise, people, computer equipment, or your own thoughts. The world is full of things that compete for your attention, and it's easy to become sidetracked. However, if you are serious about achieving your goals, you must see distractions for what they are: impediments to achievement. Begin by assessing your physical environment. Look around for potential distractions. A crowded desk, a disorganized environment, or an uncomfortable chair can all distract your focus. It's difficult to keep focused when you're continually reminded of what has to be fixed. Clean up your surroundings to make them more favorable to concentration. A clean, organized workspace will help you focus and create the tone for productivity. Next, examine digital distractions. Your phone, computer, and other technologies can easily divert your attention. Social media notifications, emails, and messages can completely ruin your day. You must reduce distractions. Set boundaries with technology. Turn off notifications and close. Developing a success mindset. Unnecessary tabs and set times to check emails or social media when working. Be totally present. This will allow for more attention. The individuals around you might also cause distractions. If you're surrounded by people who don't support your goals or are continually interrupting you, it's time to change. Inform them that your focus is critical and that you require uninterrupted time to work. If feasible, choose a quiet place to work away from those who may distract you with talks or other activities. It's fine to set boundaries. Your time and energy are valuable, and you cannot afford to let others waste them. Sometimes distractions originate from within. Your own ideas can distract you from the task at hand. Worrying about the future, obsessing about what's going wrong, or becoming caught in negative thoughts can all deplete your vitality. That's why mental clarity is essential. You need to quiet your mind and concentrate on what is in front of you. Meditation, mindfulness, or simply taking a moment to breathe can help clear your mind and redirect your attention to where it should be. Creating a distraction-free environment does not occur overnight. It takes determination, discipline, and dedication to your goals. However, if you begin to eliminate distractions, you will notice higher productivity, sharper focus, and speedier progress. Scheduling your time is an efficient approach to eliminate distractions. Time blocking is a strategy in which you allocate specified blocks of time to specific tasks. This keeps you focused and avoids distractions from dragging you away. When you have a well-defined strategy and a planned timetable, distractions are less likely to interrupt. To keep focused, consider using apps that block distracting websites, productivity clocks, or work management tools. These tools serve as reminders, keeping you accountable to your goals and on track. Another key method is to establish clear goals. When you have a clear sense of purpose, distractions lose their influence. They no longer seem as essential because you know exactly what you're aiming for. A defined aim motivates you and makes it simpler to disregard distractions. Rest also has a significant impact. Working too hard is a distraction in and of itself. When you're weary, you lose attention and productivity. Make sure you take regular breaks and get enough sleep. A well-rested mind is more concentrated and capable of completing things efficiently. Beating a distraction-free atmosphere is a necessity, not a luxury. If you want to achieve, you must keep your attention sharp. Distractions are the adversaries of success, constantly attempting to drag you off track. However, when you take control of your environment, you gain control of your outcomes. Now, let's discuss how to use the agony of inaction as incentive. Inaction undermines your confidence, future, and potential. It breeds regret, frustration, and the continual sense that you're not living up to your full potential. And let me tell you, there is no greater pain than knowing you could have done more but choosing not to. Inaction is a slow burn. It does not strike you all at once. Inaction may not leave an instantly apparent bruise or scar, but it accumulates over time and causes you to feel its weight. The longer you postpone action, the more difficult it is to get started. You begin to feel trapped in the ease of doing nothing. But deep down, you know this piece is a deception. It is the comfort of avoidance rather than advancement, and such avoidance comes at a high cost. The agony of inaction is the pain of a lost chance. Consider the opportunities you've missed because you hesitated. Opportunities to develop, learn, and improve. Every moment wasted on the sidelines is one that you will never get back. When you realize this, it hits hard. The anguish of idleness is not the lack of effort. It is the silent understanding that you could have done more but did not. This is why you should utilize your grief as fuel. Let it motivate you. When the sting of regret begins to set in, utilize it as a reminder of what is at stake. This isn't just about getting things done. It's about avoiding the greater sorrow of wondering what could have been if you'd acted sooner. The more you put it off, the more remorse you will feel. And believe me, regret is far worse than any difficulty you will face in taking action. Inaction also promotes complacency. You begin to tell yourself that your current circumstance is satisfactory and that staying put is acceptable. But that is risky. Complacency is a silent killer of dreams. It persuades you that staying the same is okay when in fact you are settling for far less than you deserve. The agony of remaining stationary, of letting time pass without activity, is something you'll get to know well. It serves as a continual reminder that you are capable of so much more, yet you choose not to pursue it. This is where actual motivation kicks in. Instead than focusing on the work required to get things done, consider the repercussions of inaction. What will your life be like a year from now if you continue to wait? What about in 5 or 10 years? Will you be further along or still in the same position, plagued with regret and frustration? The anguish of inaction is not something you want to carry around, and the only way to avoid it is to take action even if it is difficult. The secret to leveraging the pain of inaction is to embrace it. Allow it to fuel you and become the driving force that motivates you to take the initial step, even if it appears impossible. The discomfort of acting pales in comparison to the discomfort of regret. The road to success is built on action, and you can't get there if you're afraid to take the first step. Feel the pain of idleness and use it as motivation to move forward. When the weight of not doing gets too overwhelming, remind yourself of the bigger picture. You're taking action not just for today, but for the life you want to live. You're working toward a future worth fighting for. And to get there, you must abandon the comfort of inaction. Use your discomfort as motivation, not an excuse to stop. There will always be reasons to delay, excuses to put things off, but these are only distractions from the true agony. You're avoiding the pain of understanding time is running out. Overcoming setbacks and challenges. Crocs is slipping away, and you are doing nothing to stop it. Don't let that become your reality. The anguish of inaction will never go away on its own, but the pain of action will gradually diminish, leaving you with the satisfaction of knowing you have power over your destiny. When you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed, think of the alternative, the misery of not doing. Let that serve as a reminder that you are working not only for today, but also for the future. Every step you take today, no matter how tiny, draws you closer to who you are intended to be. The agony of taking action may sting in the time, but the pain of inaction will linger much longer. Don't allow it to take control of your life. Take the pain of inaction and turn it into your most powerful incentive. Don't let it paralyze you. Instead, let it to fuel your will to keep going and pushing forward. Because when you look back, you'll be glad of the steps you took rather than the ones you avoided. Remind yourself of the final result. When you're in the middle of something, it's easy to lose sight of why you're doing it. The grind can be intimidating, and the path ahead may appear lengthy and uncertain. But here's the key. If you want to keep moving forward, if you want to force yourself to do tasks, you must remain connected to the final result, the vision of where you're going. Consider your personal definition of success. Visualize it clearly. Consider the life you've always desired, the accomplishments you're striving toward, and the satisfaction you'll experience when it's all done. Keep that image and feeling in mind, especially when the effort is too strenuous or the tasks appear too onerous. Bring the vision into focus. It acts as a reminder that every ounce of effort you put in now brings you closer to something greater than today. When you lose sight of your purpose, doubt and discouragement set in, and you begin to wonder if it's all worthwhile. However, this is always the case. Every step you take, no matter how tiny, helps you get closer to your goal. Remind yourself of this when things get rough. Avoid focusing on the battle. Concentrate on the results. Focus on the person you'll become if you stay committed, the possibilities that will arise, and the happiness you'll experience after you've fulfilled your goals. It's not just about the destination, it's about who you become along the way. The strength you gain, the skills you learn, and the confidence that rises within you shape you into a better person. When you remind yourself of this, the pain of work becomes rewarding because you know you're growing into someone bigger, someone who doesn't give up, and someone who gets things done. The goal is to envision the eventual results so clearly that it motivates you. Don't just think about the reward. Consider how great it will feel to know you did everything you could to achieve it. One of the most satisfying experiences in life is the completion of a task. Remind yourself of this frequently, because it is the motivation that will keep you going when things get difficult. When you know where you're going and what awaits you at the finish line, any setback becomes just another obstacle to overcome. Instead of being disheartened by hurdles, you'll be driven to push harder since you know it's all part of the process. The ultimate result is always worthwhile, no matter how difficult the journey may be. Also, understand that the road does not finish when you attain your goal. It lays the groundwork for your next steps and future achievements. The person you become after overcoming your current problems will be stronger, more resilient, and better equipped for what lies ahead. So hold on to that notion of achievement. Keep it in mind when things become difficult, and allow it to propel you on when you want to give up. Success never comes easily. It is the consequence of continuous effort, concentration, and hard labor. But when you remind yourself of what you're doing and what awaits you on the other side, the effort becomes lighter, the task becomes clearer, and that vision keeps you going even when you want to give up. So imagine the independence, pride, and sense of success. Every effort and obstacle contributes to the overall picture. Every day, remind yourself of your goals. Keep it in front of you, and don't let distractions or setbacks divert your attention. The ultimate outcome is really worth it. It is your motivation for what you are doing right now. Reward yourself for progress. One thing that people frequently overlook when pursuing their goals is the value of recognizing little successes. Too many people wait until they reach their big objective before feeling happy about their progress, which is a mistake. If you want to continue moving forward, you must acknowledge each step you take toward your objective. Recognize that every bit of progress counts, no matter how modest it appears. It's tempting to get caught up in the broad picture and concentrate solely on the outcome. However, the route to achievement consists of little, steady steps. Every assignment, chapter, or milestone completed is a victory. These modest successes pile up over time and contribute to the overall success you want. Rewarding yourself does not mean becoming complacent. Rather, it means keeping motivated and maintaining momentum. When you take the time to acknowledge your accomplishments, you reinforce the behavior that leads to success. It's a chance to recognize your dedication and hard work, while also reminding you that your efforts are being rewarded. Small prizes along the route help you keep going, even if the journey seems long. Habits for consistent action. When you reach a tiny milestone, don't just ignore it and go on. Please take a moment to admire it. Allow yourself to feel proud of what you've accomplished. Whether it's giving yourself a small reward, taking a moment to enjoy your favorite pastime, or simply acknowledging your hard work, it all counts. These prizes act as reminders that you are making progress, even if it appears that you are still a long way from the finish line. The key here is consistency. You do not need to praise yourself after every activity, but rather after each important step forward. The more frequently you recognize your progress, the more inspired you will be to keep working toward your next objective. Celebrating minor victories keeps you grounded. It allows you to reflect on how far you've gone, boosting your confidence and reinforcing your notion that you're capable of more. Rewards can also help you maintain a good mindset. If you're continually focused on what has to be done without acknowledging what you've already accomplished, you'll begin to feel overwhelmed. When you take the time to reward yourself, your mind has the opportunity to refresh and concentrate. Another reason to treat oneself is that it promotes the development of positive habits. When you correlate progress with positive reinforcement, it becomes easier to go forward. The brain likes and seeks rewards. So when you associate progress with something nice, you reinforce the behavior and increase the likelihood that you will continue to take action. Every time you complete a difficult activity and reward yourself, you teach your brain that hard work pays off, making it easier to face the next challenge and the one after that. Over time, these rewards help you develop the habit of persistently pursuing your goals. However, the incentive does not always have to be external. The most valuable reward can come from within the sense of accomplishment that comes from knowing you gave it your all, kept focused, and made progress. Internal rewards are equally important as external ones, and they will help you develop resilience over time. As you continue your path, remember to recognize your accomplishments. Every step forward, however tiny, brings you closer to your goal. When you reward yourself, you are reminding yourself that you are on the correct road. So take a time to appreciate how far you've gone and let that feed your motivation to keep going. The more you acknowledge your progress, the more you will achieve. And that, my friend, is something to celebrate. Let me leave you with this thought. Success does not come to those who wait for the ideal circumstances. It belongs to those who take action, no matter how imperfect or difficult it may be. Consider the most successful people you respect. They were not always confident or motivated. They had moments of doubt, just like you. The difference was that they moved forward despite their feelings. Every great achievement throughout history began with a single step. It's not about taking a great jump overnight. It's about committing to little consistent efforts that add up over time. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time to begin. Waiting for the stars to align will only slow your progress. The only perfect time to act is now. But here's the secret. Failure isn't the antithesis of success. It's an essential component of it. Every setback serves as a learning experience, and each lesson brings you closer to your objective. Stop overthinking. Stop questioning your abilities. Stop waiting for signs. The sign you've been looking for is already here right now. The hardest part is usually the start. The first workout, the first page you write, the first difficult discussion you have. But once you take the first step, conclusion and final motivation, momentum takes over, and things get easier. Consider looking back a year from now. Do you want to be proud of how far you've come? Or do you regret wasting time wishing you'd begun sooner? The choice is yours. Action increases confidence. Waiting and hoping do not build confidence. It comes from repeatedly showing to oneself that you are capable of doing difficult tasks. Remember, you don't have to have everything sorted out. You don't need to know every step of the route. All you need to do is concentrate on the next appropriate step. That is all it takes. Your future self relies on you. The person you aspire to be requires you to show up today. No matter how difficult it is or how unprepared you are, you're capable of more than you realize. The only thing keeping you from achieving your goals is the tale you keep telling yourself about why you can't get started. Change begins the instant you decide it's time and not tomorrow, next week, or when you're ready. It all starts with your decision to take action right now. Life is short. Every day you wait is a day you cannot return. Do not let fear or doubt deprive you of the future you deserve. Consider this your tipping point. The moment you stop waiting and start doing, the moment you take complete control of your fate. You owe it to yourself to see what's possible, to push your limits, and to find how far you can go once you stop holding yourself back. The world awaits your grandeur. Your unique talents and gifts have the potential to make a difference, but only if you take action and put them into practice. So here's the challenge. Take one step today, only one. It doesn't have to be huge. It does not have to be flawless, but it must be now. Allow this movie to be more than just words. Let it be the spark that ignites a fire within you, a fire that motivates you to act, grow, and become the person you've always wanted to be. Remember that action, not excuses, will help you bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. It's not about feeling ready. It's about making the decision to move forward one step at a time. So quit waiting for the ideal moment, since it does not exist. The time to act is now. Finally, if this message connected with you, Don't let it end here. Share it with someone in need. Leave a comment with what action you plan to take today. Subscribe for more inspiration, and most importantly, take the first step, because your path to greatness starts now.